Hi guys, welcome to today's reading. I am doing and as soon as I started talking, my ear started ringing. I am doing a collective reading or general collective reading for the sign of Leo. Sorry guys, I have taken so long, and it's been like a week or so. But I have several autoimmune conditions, and when the weather drops, it hits me like a boom. So I've been in a lot of pain. Trying to kind of navigate doing things around the house. But here we are. So I had a whole bunch of plans for today. I was going to dress up. I had a second costume because my main costume actually has a mask. I'm going as ghost faced this year. But long story short, I'm here, and that's the best I could do today because it's hurting. So I hope you guys are well. Like I said, I am doing a reading for the sign of Leo. Um, it was strange when I was doing your guys' meditation. Um, I didn't really get anything. It was just really quiet. It was just really quiet, and I feel like you guys are. Um, Even as I'm listening now, it feels like just quiet. So when I do readings, I tend to get a lot of downloads, right? But even as I'm sitting here, as I'm reading your guys's ethereal energy or etheric energy, I'm not really getting like the boom. So it feels like you guys have been in a period of where you felt like your guys's gifts or your intuition had been lowered, or it felt like you didn't have it available. Like you were, I heard raw dogging life or raw dogging spirituality. It was almost like you were just kind of feeling like you weren't hearing the messages that were being sent to you. Um, because we're starting with the Seeing Beyond card here. So it looks like your guys' gifts are opening back up again. Obviously, your guys' gifts had never left. It just seems like there had been a lesson going on or several lessons going on, and those gifts had kind of been turned down. Almost like your cheat sheet. You weren't allowed to use your cheat sheet as much, right? Um, because obviously, if you can go in and get the answers from, let's say, our gifts, then it's not really a test, is what I'm hearing. So, your guys' basically cheat sheet had been turned down, and now it's being ramped back up to like by a lot. I'm hearing, okay. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of downloads coming in. There's going to be huge downloads coming in. There is a huge star, and it reminds me of like a Christmas tree. So I'm hearing gifts, a lot of your gifts, but not only gifts that you have and that you use, but like your like a gift from your ancestors, a gift from divine, um, from just gifts that are being passed down from generation to generation that hadn't been able to be passed down for a long time. I don't know. Some of you guys could be getting sick or be sick because my pain is from like autoimmune. But as soon as I started talking about like gifts, my nose started to like get clogged up and like almost itchy and like runny, and that is not what I was feeling at all. So I don't think this is me. But as soon as I started talking about that, like, and I'm not sick like that. Like I'm a different kind of sick. But anyway, so hopefully you guys get better. Um, I said this in the last reading. Whenever the weather drops like this, a lot of people tend to get sick from it. Anyway, going back to that, your guys' ancestors, there seems to be gifts that there wasn't a person, there wasn't somebody that was able to come in and break a generational curse that had been going on in this lifeline, this bloodline, and now it's being handed down to you guys because this is something that has been waiting to be handed down to you guys. Actually, I feel like it's two gifts. Um, it's two gifts, but there's one really big one, and it's just this crown that's just gonna cover your crown chakra, and then there's another one. But I'm not really hearing what it is because it's gonna be different for everybody. Everybody doesn't have gifts. I'm hearing that one of them is spiritual and one of them is earthly gift. So, but it's going to allow you to see beyond, see, um, oh, okay. So I'm hearing that because you guys were able to discern different timelines with people that you met, it was actually getting you stuck in certain relationships because um, what I'm seeing is you met somebody and you would see all these timelines, but you would see the one where you would end up with them, or you would have like you would see the good timeline and you would get stuck. But remember that everybody has free will, and so people made different choices and ended up your timelines changed, if that makes sense. But that was getting you stuck, and because of that they were having to lower your intuition, they were having to lower it just a little bit, so you weren't able to make those um, view those different timelines because it was confusing you, as in the path that you were supposed to go on, as in the path of, I'm hearing it got you stuck in a lot of sticky situations and a lot of possible outcomes that didn't come to fruition. And you could feel that there was things that were supposed to happen and they didn't come to pass because people made the choices. We all have free will, and they made their choices, and it altered the timeline. But what you saw was what you were expecting to happen, and that didn't come to, again, that didn't come to pass because people made different choices. Whether it be right or wrong, everybody makes their choices and they have to live with those consequences, right? But I do feel like you, because of that, because you guys were able to make the choices based off of what you see in the here and now, you guys were able to let go of everything that was, if it's not here in full view in 3D, then it's not happening, right? You can feel, oh, I feel like this person's going to come back, or I feel like this is going to happen, or this job, or if it isn't happening at this moment, then it's not happening. And I feel for a lot of you guys have finally come into that realization that you guys were not necessarily putting your lives on hold, but you guys were getting, you guys were feeling disappointed by potential timelines, by potential people, by potential relationships, and it was actually hurting you instead of helping you. And so I feel like there's been a realization, and you guys have let go of that, and you guys are seeing things for what they are now, and allowing yourself to see situations for they are. If they're not happening at this moment, if there's not somebody coming back and telling you how they feel, if there's not somebody showing you that you're the one that they want to be with, then it's a no for now, right? It doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It means that we have to live in the here and now and see things that what they are for right now. Okay? And this is allowing you guys, and this is amazing because Leos, you guys are coming in your own energy, right? You guys are starting the reading with your guys' own energy, and this is awakening the line, and I just got goosebumps all over. You guys are awakening the line. This is, and look, it's wearing a crown. Oh my gosh, I got goosebumps again. I got goosebumps again. This line is wearing a crown, and it's just shooting energy. It's just shooting energy everywhere. Because you're now seeing things, right? The lion doesn't expect the prey to come up to it, right? It goes out and it searches for food when they're hungry. Just like you don't sit and wait for people to come or situations to come, there's a need for you to understand, okay, if this isn't coming to me, I'm going to go where there is positions available. And by that, I don't mean go chase after people, right? I mean, put yourself in a place, or start to manifest, or start to guide yourself where you know there's abundance of whatever it is that you need. If in this situation we're talking about prey, food, we're talking about abundance of whatever it is that you need, right? Getting into the right situations, letting things go, letting people go, and seeing the situations for what they are in your face right now, right then. There could be a new person around the corner, but are you going to sit here and wait until next week until you meet that person? No. Right? But this is awakening the fire in you. There's a fire that's been needed for, I'm hearing, for quite a few years actually, in certain situations in your life that had gone out because of pain, hurt, because of the way you were brought up, because of whatever reason, right? Whatever your story is, that is the reason why your fire had been dimmed in certain situations. I don't feel like your fire was completely out, it just had been dimmed. And so you're coming into your earth magic, which is the 3D magic, again, manifesting. There's a need to walk barefoot on the ground. I know I hate it when people keep saying, oh, there's a need to ground yourself. There really is a need to ground yourself, because what happens when you ground yourself? You are in the present moment. You are not in tomorrow. You are not in yesterday. You are in the right here and the right now. And what's going to happen is the energy is going to come from above, from below, and it's going to come to you, because you're going to be in the right exact spot. You're going to be calling in, or you're going to be in the right spot to get exactly what it is that you need. All the things that you have been calling in, all the things that you have been, and for a lot of you guys might be on your personal year of one. So I'm hearing like the full, like starting a new chapter, starting a new everything. I feel like this is earth magic. And when I'm seeing this card, I'm actually seeing this growing into like a beanstalk, growing, and you're gonna climb it and go into almost like another, you know how in what was it, Jack and the Giant Beanstalk, or was it Jack and the Beanstalk? I can't remember what it was, it's been so long. There was like a whole other city, or I don't know what it was. It was like a whole thing above, almost like you're rising above to a whole new place that you've never been before. But this is both magic coming from above and below, and grounding yourself so that the magic starts swirling around you. I'm almost seeing that image from Beauty and the Beast, where he's spinning and turning back into himself, because she loved him for exactly who she was at that moment. She didn't know that he was going to turn into this prince and that, you know, whatever. She loved him for who he was, and that brought in the magic and turned him back into the prince, a human, whatever it was, right? And look, you guys have next a burst of magic. That's going to bring in, I'm getting so many chills right now. It's not even funny. Like left and right, my legs, my arms. A burst of magic. It's opening almost like, it's opening the flower, the lotus flower, and it's bringing you a whole new you. Look, it's exactly what I was saying. Do you see how this cloud dust, whatever that is right there, it's a woman coming out of the lotus. It's a body. Do you see that? It's a new person coming out, transformed, with her crown chakra super lit up, right? I don't know if you guys can see that. Her crown chakra is super lit up, and there's a fully formed woman just kind of coming out of this lotus flower, like being reborn, but with your crown chakra fully open. Your gifts are going to be fully open. The gifts that you guys, I feel for a lot of you guys were born with gifts, but there was, excuse me, for some of you guys there was situations where you guys' gifts were very strong, and you guys would hear and see stuff that would, it was very bad. And a lot of you guys actually not pushed down, well yeah, it's pushed down, but you guys basically, you guys shut off the gift because it was very scary, and what you guys were hearing and seeing, and you guys weren't understanding what it was. Okay, and so you guys have the netcaster come to fruition. Preparations come to, you guys have preparing for this. You guys have been preparing for this. You guys have cast nets to catch the fish. But I feel like... Sorry, one second. I'm hearing something. These are actually preparations that have been put in place from lifetimes ago by you, and by your ancestors. This was a plan that you guys set up from lifetimes ago to put in place at this moment in time. Once you guys were able to do the work that was needed to do. Because this right here, this looks like an old ancestors from like the 20s. From like the 20s, but I mean, it doesn't have to be somebody from the 1920s, but I'm saying it's an older ancestor, and they have cast this net out for you, and they have allowed you to do your part in preparing, but they've also prepared for you guys to get these gifts, for you when you guys reach this point in time where you guys were able to awaken the line. Awaken the line, and I'm hearing you've arrived, which is absolutely beautiful. 42 could be significant to some people. Twos, there's 2 twos, 42, and like I said, life path number 1, 12, so another, 2 or 3, and so this is bringing you guys to a powerful move. This is bringing you guys to endgame, but endgame to a chapter of your life that it's over. Like that life, that chapter is gone. You guys are being reborn in a new space and time, a new timeline, a new whatever it is that you want to call it. You are being reborn as a new person. You are being reborn in different lessons is what it means. So what happens is when you learn certain lessons in pain, you move up, because a person that's already gone through pain and has learned all their lessons through pain, are you going to sit there and learn another lesson through pain? No, you're not. That's what it means to learn the lesson, and that's why you move up, because you're not going to accept sitting there learning in pain anymore. If it's painful, you're going to move out of the way, and you're going to see the situation. I've already been through this. I'm not going to do this again. Let's move on. And that's why they call it a pleasure matrix. You're now learning in a pleasure matrix, because the way you're going to be learning is through having mentors, by so many things. I could sit here for an hour and just spill out the different ways you can learn in a pleasure matrix: by traveling to new places, by reading new books, by trying different foods, by meeting new people, by so many things. Instead of having to be in toxic relationships, having to be in relationships where you're not being either fulfilled or you're not valued where you are, because the lesson hasn't been learned. You keep going, and it's not about who you attract. People say, oh, you attract because you're damaged. No, it's not about that. You go through difficult relationships because you haven't learned to walk away when you see that you're valuable enough to get way more than what you're getting. I once had somebody say to me, I said to them, I'm not going to accept, what did I say? Breadcrumbs. I go, I'm not going to accept breadcrumbs. And they're like, why not? Birds love breadcrumbs. And I was like, do I look like a bird to you? Like, no, I am not a bird. And then honestly, in my head, I thought chicken head, but I was like, okay, I'm not going to go there. Okay, I'm not a bird. All right. So I don't eat breadcrumbs. All right. And that just stuck to me. Like, in my head, I was like, what? I could not believe that I was being told that. I digress. Going back to the powerful move. This is your guys' powerful move. This is your guys' checkmate. Checkmate to the pain matrix, or to learning difficult. Mind you, it doesn't mean that you're going to live a life of only pleasure, no pain. Life is pain. Life is always going to be pain. Our ego always has stake in everything. When we lose a family member, when we lose a pet, those things are painful. Even though they're natural, they're going to be painful. We always have that connection to our loved ones. Even though they don't pass on, right? I truly believe that they wake up to where they originally come from, or whatever it is, right? Um, there's always gonna be 3D things, car problems, payments, ups and downs with money, health issues, because our bodies are not forever. We have to take care of them. And even when we take care of them, they will dwindle. They will start to fail you. They will, we're not meant to live forever in these bodies. It just means that you're now going to be able to enjoy and learn through more pleasurable things, because you now understand that if this hurts, I'm not doing this shit, right? I'm not doing this. If you're mistreating me, I'm not. No, I'm not. No. That's it. That's what I mean. That's what it means when you're living in a different matrix, because you've learned that I've already been through this. I'm not sticking around for this again. We've done this already. So let's move on and let's enjoy ourselves, because I've already learned this. Even if I have to be alone for the rest of my life, I will never be in a toxic relationship ever again, or accept less than I deserve. Even if I have to make less but be happier at work, then that's what I'll do. Even if I have to not have any family or friends because whoever keeps coming into my life, they don't value me, then that's what we'll do. Or we'll go find new group. We'll continue looking until we find the group that is for us, and you will find them. You will find your people who are meant to be there in your life, right? Okay, let me find my. I'm gonna bring those down to the 3D, and I'm gonna use my zombie tarot, since it is. By the way, happy Halloween. Like I said, I was gonna get all dressed up and all these things. I had all these plans, and then when it comes down to it, it's like, you know what? As long as we show up, that's what matters. So, okay, let's clarify Waking the Lion for my Leos. You got the moon in reverse. There's things that are coming out that you're going to start seeing clearly now. Not just secrets, but things that were hidden for a reason, because the universe needed you not to know exactly what it was that was going on. They needed to. If you can pull a bunch of tarot cards and I tell you exactly what the lesson is, then what's the point of the lesson? You're not going to learn from that. You're not going to learn from that. Mind you, there are people that know the answer and still choose wrong, right? But if you have a cheat sheet, you're not going to learn from that. You're cheating. These things that you couldn't see, all the things that you didn't understand, I feel like there was a lot hidden from you, but not just from people, but from the universe themselves. And they are saying, we don't feel bad. This is just the way it had to be. This is just the way it had to be. I'm hearing. This is just the way it had to be for you to pass the lessons, and you did it on your own. You didn't need, we always receive guidance anyways, and we're always protected. But to a certain extent, when you're going through an exam, your SATs, whatever it is, you don't get that extra boost. You have to do it on your own. You have to study. Okay, we're clarifying Earth Magic. You got, and I'm still getting goosebumps everywhere. The chills everywhere. The Page of Cups in reverse and the King of Hazards in reverse. There's been a lot of unhappiness. There's been a lot of you feeling like you're unable to move up. I'm especially hearing not only financially, but it felt like you were stuck. It almost felt like everything that you came into contact with, you weren't able to hold on to it. It wasn't grounded into the earth. When it's grounded into the earth, it's a tree. A tree's not just going to come over and fall over with the first gust of wind that hits it, right? And it felt like every gust of wind you were being knocked over. A bill would come in, the car would break down, something would happen, and you weren't receiving not only emotional, financial, you weren't receiving the things that it felt like you needed. It felt like people were watching you suffer and just staring at you. or even at work, you weren't getting the help, whatever the way that you need to put this. You were not receiving the help or love or respect that you needed, and it felt like it was one thing after another, but it wasn't tangible. It wasn't something you could hold in your hands, and it felt like it was a never-ending story. A burst of magic. But what's happening now is because you've now started to, I'm getting so many chills now that you've started to ground yourself and put your roots in the earth. Oh my goodness, universe. The wind is going to come. There can be a tornado and nothing can knock you down. This is too many. I'm going to take the top first one. Oh, they want the top two. Okay. They got 2 of Swords and the 3 of Cups. But do you see how in this... Okay, let me turn it around. Do you see how in this 2 of Cups, 3 of Swords? Wait, 2 of Swords. They've already chopped off the head out of one of the zombies. There's already been a choice made. There's already been a choice made to do the 3 of Cups, to come together with the right people, with the right love, with the right friends, choosing people that choose you, loving people the way that you love, being friends to the people that are friends like you, that will give back to you, that are equal give and take, and not even necessarily equal give and take, just genuine people. It doesn't always have to be like, oh, I gave you a gift, give me one back. No, but if I need you, you're there. If I'm having a moment, I can call you, and vice versa. If you have an emergency, call me. I'm always available. Not all those people that were never there for you, that would leave you hanging, that would choose to go to other men or clubs instead of being around, sticking around for helping you when you were going through an illness, when you've gone through heartbreak, when you're having a mental breakdown and you're by yourself. I feel like that's been so much the majority of your relationships, and that's a lot of what you've known. I'm here. You guys have had good friends come in, but they weren't tangible. A wind would come in and a gust would take them out, or they betray you, or they would just, for whatever reason. Judgment. You got Judgment reversed for clarifying that caster. Judgment in reverse. I feel like you guys are not even asking. I feel like there's people that are getting judgment, but I don't feel like you guys are asking for judgment on people. I feel like there was a lot of things, not only in the past, in past lives. I'm hearing there's a lot of people that did some dirty shit in this life and in past lives that didn't have judgment called upon, and in this life they are, and you're calling all that judgment back. I'm seeing the horn of Gabriel. Is it the horn of Gabriel? I believe so. If it's not, please write it down, because I'm hearing I heard Gabriel first and then I was like, Michael? I think it's the horn of Gabriel, and it's like okay, I've called judgment. On this lifetime, I'm done. I've learned the lessons. I'm not doing this shit anymore. And everything that has happened, everybody that has not paid karma in lifetimes are going to pay the karma. And a lot of the karma is going to be you getting your best life, you living your best life, you allowing yourself to disconnect from people and places and things, and being able to live your best life. You got the 10 of Hazards in reverse, a powerful move, and you got the 6 of Wands in reverse. I don't feel... Okay, I understand. A powerful move, the 10 of Cups in reverse and the 6 of Wands. There's no more feeling like you don't get your happily ever after, or winning in situations where you give the most of yourself, where you do the most for other people. There's no more of that. From now on, this is now called your winning season, and that's what's going to happen. No more of not getting your end game, and no more of not having your victories, because people keep stealing your victory because you think that they are there for you. They weren't there for you, and they made that very clear, even the people that you were with. So I'm going to get some guidance from you guys. The first one you guys got was prosperity lies ahead. One more. Be bold and make the first move. Yeah, in your life. Okay, guys? That was such a powerful message. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I'm going to leave it there, and you guys have a happy Halloween. Bye.